This is Ayres Natural Bridge Park near Douglas, Wyoming. It's about halfway for me when I'm travelling up to the Bighorns. It's a lovely place. I spent all afternoon wandering around making these videos. It's free camping. There's about half a dozen campsites. You can make a donation. The bridge itself appears to be limestone, but the rock above it is red. I assume it's sandstone, but it could be coloured limestone. Limestone often takes on a red colour if there's a sandstone above it. And there's loads of these swallows' nests on both sides of the bridge and on the cliffs behind. And there were quite a few swallows flying around, although it's past nesting season. I drove up to Buffalo, then along Route 16 and camped just off Forest Road 20. There were showers, but I managed to get in a 3-mile hike through the forest. But when it came to cooking, it was pouring down, so I cooked in the van. The next day it had cleared and there was a good view of Bighorn Mountain. And after that I drove further along 16 and walked up to the James T. Saban lookout, which was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in 1942. It's worth doing this. It's just a short walk up to this limestone ridge with the lookout on top. And of course there are good views all around once you get there. From the lookout you can see Meadowlark Lake, so I decided to head down there, and I passed something you don't see every day: a large herd of sheep with a shepherd. Walking down beside Meadowlark Lake. We are approaching the dam. Walking down this road, which I think will lead me to the dam, but I think I'm going to bag the idea of going up to the crag. I took a picture of it, and there's not a lot of point going up because I don't have my climbing gear that I'm going to climb with. I have my climbing gear in the van, but yeah, it just seems like a lot of effort to walk up to the crag. So I'm going to be lazy, and I can see the dam now, so maybe I can get down there and then I can probably walk back either side of the lake. So here is the dam. I'm going to go down there, probably going to go back on this side of the lake rather than go on the other side, which will be quite a bit longer. I've changed my mind. I've decided to circumnavigate the lake. The path on this side looks pretty good. There is a building up here, so I don't know if it's private property, but I did see a guy coming back from this direction when I was parked. So I'll give it a shot, see how it goes. Hopefully I won't have to turn around, be a long way back. So I'm nice way around the lake now. I can see my blue van way over there. I'm sure it doesn't come out on the camera. And more buildings here, looks like a campground. And I'm on a road at the moment, but I think I'm going to have to cut across the shore over there. Should work out. Let's see. The trail cheated out, so I'm going across this dried out area here. It's like the water comes up over here often. Ugh. Sinking into it. The deer have really sunk into it with that look of it. Let's see if I can get across here. Oh, shit. Ah. So far so good. That's my jar over there. Another wet patch here. Yeah, shit. Yeah. My shoes are covered in mud now, and my socks. Yeah, pretty muddy. Oh well. Yeah, no, not again. More wetness. Keep moving here. Well, didn't get trapped. That's good. Not only that, but other people have been stupid enough to do this as well, because they went up here. Okay, here's the trail. Good. I can wash some mud off wading across this stream. Great. I was going to spray my shoes when I got back to the van, but this might do just as well. I'll wade across. Well, now wet and muddy. I also managed to wash my tush at the same time. Oh well, keep going. Okay, I'm better stretched now as I approach the kayaks. Out there on that green bit, you just sink in. But up here, there's rocks, so I'll be okay for a while. And I think the next big cove is where the van is. Back of the van now. There it is over there. This is West Tensleep Lake, looking up towards Cloud Peak and the Cloud Peak Wilderness. I'm heading up to Lake Helen. What we're looking at is the end of West Tensleep Lake, stream coming into it here, and this is the way I'm going, up into the Cloud Peak Wilderness. But I'm only going in a few miles. There's some backpackers ahead of me with huge loads. I'm catching them. Still heading up to Lake Helen. It's opened up into a meadow here. It's probably pretty wet out there. I see some big ditches in it. No moose in sight. Yeah, now it's really opening up. It's been in the trees most of the way so far. I think I'm a little over halfway to Lake Helen now. So I made it to Lake Helen. It's blowing a bit up here, hence the hat and every layer I can find in my backpack. But it's beautiful, take a look. The highest peak you can see here is Cloud Peak. That's where the backpackers are going. After I'd finished the Lake Helen hike, I drove back down to 16 and went down Ten Sleep Canyon. Ten Sleep Canyon's got a vast amount of limestone. There are crags on both sides of the canyon, and some have been bolted, but there's loads of potential for new routes. I climbed here I think about 4 years ago, and the best route I did was Bighorn. I think it's a 10B. It goes up this wall and then it goes into a bottomless chimney, but the great thing about it is they put the bolts on the outside of the chimney, so whether you're facing in or you're facing out, you have to reach out to clip the bolts. You can't go into the chimney, deeply into the chimney if you want to clip bolts. It's just well bolted in my opinion. You look down and there's nothing between your legs as you bridge across this chimney. Great route. I went to the brewery, actually camped at the brewery in Ten Sleep, or just past the town of Ten Sleep, and then I went to the Medicine Lodge archaeological site, which is where this rabbit is. This is a good place for camping for kids. There were lots of kids playing around on bikes, and it's got this sandstone cliff which has petroglyphs on it. And these petroglyphs I thought were quite unusual. They didn't remind me of petroglyphs I'd seen elsewhere. They seemed to be somehow different designs than ones I'd seen before. From here I went on the Alkali Road, which I'm glad I had all-wheel drive, because it's a gnarly road. And I went to Route 14 and visited the Foss Canyon Falls, Foss Creek Falls I think they're called, and then went on to Sibley Lake, and I camped at Sibley Lake, and then went home via the Geological Museum in Laramie and Vaderville. Vaderville's got some really nice camping, dispersed camping.